Why would I get it? Why? I haven't done anything.
Listen, in America, we're supposed to have the right to stand.
America is starting to get interesting. And with this video, we see a clash of Christians, so-called Christians, and Muslims. Let's go ahead and check it out. Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is your channel where we find the truth, seek understanding, and be the light. So, guys, this is interesting. If you guys aren't aware, currently what's happening is that there seems to be an influx of the increase in the Muslim faith here in America, to the point where now the practices are now becoming public. There's certain areas, certain cities that's just being majority Muslim. And, you know, Muslim has their traditions, they have their customs that they do that's out in public, and it's taking over a lot of these cities. One state for sure that I was aware, that I've been recently made aware of, is Minnesota. Apparently there's a city, I can't remember which one, where the Muslim religion is starting to come up a lot. It's starting to have refuge out in Minnesota. And I think one of the mayors in one of the cities in Minnesota is Muslim. I don't even think he's American, like naturally born in America, which it seems like a lot of people that are in, you know, hold some type of public office, let me not say a lot, but more than you would think, are not American, which is interesting, but I'll bring that up again later. So the situation at hand is that we're at Dearborn, Michigan, and there's a riot, kind of a riot. There's a bunch of disputes. We have the side that claims to be Christian, and then we other side that are Muslim, that are clear as day Muslim. I mean, I'm not sure exactly. The crazy thing is, as the video progresses, we start to see wavering of both faiths, I guess you should, we should say. It doesn't really seem like, or at least this situation is looking to bring the worst out of both faiths, behaviors that I would think even those that are Muslim shouldn't be exhibiting. I mean, I don't know nothing about the Qur'an or anything like that. I don't know how their Bible, their word, their text tells them to behave, or what type of behaviors they should be striving for, like the Bible does. The Bible very specific how we should be acting towards just about every situation. But we see that lacking here, at least from the Christian side per se. So let's just go ahead and go into it. I got this video from Nick Jones. If you guys don't know him, I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you probably do know Nick Jones. He was watching it first. He got bits and clips of it, but there was a lot that went into this video, and this actually may be a little long. I'll try to cut up some parts that, you know, that are just extra stuff, but let's just go ahead and go right into it and see what's happening. See what's happening with those that claim to be Christian and with those that claim to be Muslim. I know there's some, you know, thoughts on the Muslim faith, what they do, some things that we may have heard. If you haven't read it yourself, then it's kind of hard to really be like, oh yeah, I heard that Muslims do this, Muslims do that. I could say that all day long, but I don't know for certain, because I haven't read it, what it says in the books. So let's just go ahead and check it out. So this is Nate. I think that's correct. Nick Shirley. He's out in Dearborn, Michigan. He's seems to be Christian, but he's also looking at things from both sides, which is very important. You know, we want to find understanding and be the light. The only real way that we could be the light is to get a perspective of both sides and not just one. Let's just go and we'll do commentary along the way.
Dearborn, Michigan, and today you have a group of primarily white Christians marching on the streets of Dearborn, Michigan, as they're worried about the Islamification of Islam, as Dearborn, Michigan is the capital of Islam here in the United States, as the majority of the population belong to the religion of Islam here. And right now you have a group over here and you have a group right there. We are going to be seeing what happens here today on the street. And what do you think about this group right here? It's primarily white Christians marching.
So first thing that I wanted to
here in Dearborn.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous, because in Dearborn, Christians and Muslims coexist, and we love each other, and we treat each other like brothers and sisters. So the fact that they're here trying to divide us from our Christian brothers and sisters sisters is ridiculous. No one has supremacy over another person, and that's one thing that Islam teaches us. That's one thing that Sharia law teaches us, is that no one is supreme over another person. No matter what you look like, what your skin color is, what your religion is, we are all equal under the eyes of God. So we are here now just retaliating, trying to protest against this bullshit that they're bringing out now.
You're out here today and you have the America First hat. What do you think about what's happening here in Dearborn, Michigan?
I think it's about the amount of immigration that we allow. Do we as a country
Allah is crazy. You see what he did there?
want foreign outposts in cities like Coldwater and Hamtramck and Dearborn? Or do we want to have like a cohesive, agreed upon culture and ideology for our society? And so we welcome all sorts of people, and diversity is one of America's strengths, but when it gets taken too far, we'll start to lose our country's identity.
What do you guys think about this primarily white Christian group pulling up today here to Dearborn, Michigan?
I don't think they're Christians. They're not Christians. Those are Zionists. They're Zionists. They are not Christians, bro. You're a Christian, correct?
Yes.
You love Jesus?
I love Jesus.
You're a Christian. They don't love Jesus because they're on the other side with the Zionists. The Zionists, they don't love Jesus. So what does that make them? Some goofy ass mother.
Okay, so the first confusing thing to me is how is it that you can just assume that he's cool? I guess, and this is the thing about conversations and just being calm, because the other people on the other side could have said the exact same thing. I'm Christian. I love Jesus. He didn't say nothing that would separate him from them, aside from the fact that he's having the conversation. Yeah, he seems to be cool. So I don't know. It's just weird.
That don't know their own religion. They really don't know their own religion.
And are you guys members of Islam? Muslims?
Yeah, Muslim. I'll die for Jesus any time of the day.
And what do you guys think about when people say that Dearborn has been Islamified or that Sharia law is being upheld here?
There is no Sharia law out here. If there was a Sharia law out here, they would have been beheaded me. They would have been beheaded me and cut off my hands.
What's the difference?
And okay. So here's the confusion, guys. I promise I'm gonna try to chop this up as much as I can, because we're really looking at this live, and I don't really understand. What am I missing here? We just had the lady that said that Sharia law says to be peaceful, that everybody's equal and all this stuff, and then this man right here who's smoking and cursing up a storm is saying that, oh, when it comes to Sharia law, if we practice Sharia law here, then his head would have been his head would have been cut off, and his hands. So what is it? Which one is it? I can go straight to the Bible and tell you where exactly it says that we need to be peaceful with our neighbors, peaceful with everybody, just be peacemakers. There's absolutely no killing that we're supposed to be doing, no beheading, no nothing like that. I can point that out and tell you where that doesn't show. But for some reason, we literally just had two people that said two completely opposite things, which is a matter of life and death, and they're of the same faith. So to me, it's just telling me that even in the Muslim faith, you have those that are truly like in the book and go by the book, and those that just go by whatever it is that they're taught, or maybe it's just passed down by their parents. Same thing like we have in Christianity, because you can probably find a couple of things in which people are saying, oh, Christianity is this, we don't do this, we don't do that. But then you have somebody that's actually following the scriptures, like actually, and I mean, this is a big thing in America anyways, like people misunderstanding the text, trying to grab and nitpick certain things from the text. And it's a lot, guys. It's a lot. Let's keep going.
Of just Muslims and members of ISIS.
Oh man, ISIS, they're not even Muslims. If ISIS was Muslims, they would have been stepped in and fought Israel. Why out of every country they ain't fight Israel yet? You tell me.
ISIS is they're planned. They're all plans. They're all planned. They're not real Muslims.
They towards the Americans, because they know at the end
a real Muslim like us will invite you to our house, come in, eat with us, sleep with us, whatever you want. That's real Islam. ISIS and all of them, plans. They're all planted. They're all planted by somebody. That's not real Islam.
You hungry?
No, I'm not hungry.
I'll go to the restaurant.
He just invited me to go get some food. I'm going to hop over to the other side and go talk to them as well. So it's super interesting right now because you have this group right here. You have Palestine, Muslims, and then right now you have a bunch of people from the other side coming over here. What brings you out here?
So then you have this guy that's coming in with his cross, All right, so this is for my Christians. This is where good things are going to get really interesting.
Today,
We want to make sure our children can grow up in the same America that
Remember everything that he says and see how contradictory he is.
I grew up in. White Christian country. Our
Christian
founding
country.
fathers' blood soaks this land, not for Muslims and Islamic jihadists to play their prayer calls where our children walk to preschool. It's disgusting what they've done to Dearborn, Michigan. They have turned this into Rome. They've turned it into London. It looks like another country here. Every single sign on every single street is in Arabic. How can you consider yourselves as assimilating Americans when you don't eat the same food we eat? You don't speak the same language we speak. You don't do anything that Americans do. This is our country, and we will not stand for Islamic invasion.
are you worried about the Islamification of the United States?
Yes, it is one of the most paramount issues we can face.
Especially here in Dearborn, Michigan.
It is in Minneapolis in 1970, was a 95% white city and white state, Minnesota. If you ask Grok, the next 1,000 children born, only 42% will be white.
Is he talking about AI? That's crazy.
We're seeing rapid demographic shift and ideologies that are clashing. Here in Dearborn, these people want to see white Christian men eradicated. They want to see our forefathers' land be destroyed. They do not have any love in their hearts. They are here to dominate us, Nick.
Would you say you're a white supremacist?
No, sir. I am an American supremacist. I love my country, and I know that we only have a few homelands left here. America was founded by white Christian men, and it should remain a white Christian country majority. We should not be replaced. We have nowhere left to go. Our country's falling.
And what do you think about us having freedom of religion? Should we try to appease or pause the progress of Islam here?
Of course, they don't speak our language. They don't dress like we do. They don't eat the same food. They have nothing like we do. They're here to dominate and change our culture, our religion, our government. These people hate the American way of life. They danced when the Twin Towers fell. These people are terrorists. They're jihadists that are looking to destroy our country. Look at them. They're animals, and they don't know how to behave. These people all have criminal records, I'm sure. They're all petty larceny thieves trying to steal our country from us. I despise them, and I want them out. Send them back. Deport all Muslims. Deport all Muslims and ban Sharia law. Get them out of America.
They're saying that Muslim's peaceful. Islam's a peaceful religion.
Look at they can say whatever their book says, but look at the actual proof in the pudding. Everywhere that they are, there's Muslim gangs. Sweden's numbers have tripled just in the last 20 years. Everywhere where they take over, all they do is sexualize our children, and because their own prophet Muhammad, the 9-year-old Aisha, and they have no standard like our standard.
Are you guys worried about the Islam?
Okay, so homie said a lot. Homie said a lot just now. And I call him homie because that's what I say. He's really not the homie because he's very, very backwards. The First Amendment, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting free exercise thereof. And this creates two protections. No law that the government cannot create a national religion, cannot favor one religion over another, cannot force you to practice any religion, cannot prompt religion over non-religion or vice versa. And the other point is you are free to practice any religion. You are free to practice no religion, and the government cannot punish you for your beliefs. The government cannot interfere with religion's expression unless it violates compelling public interest. For example, harming others. So, strangely enough, he talks about his forefathers were Christian men that came into this land and formed this Christian nation. You see how what I just said contradicts what he just said? This is the First Amendment that the forefathers had created for this country. I thought about this recently. The more I was seeing more into the issues with those of the Somali that, well, not issue per se, but the increase in, no, actually, no, I think it is. It is becoming an issue because they're doing some real interesting stuff over there in Minnesota with the Somalis, but with the Somalis coming into America and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, maybe there's something that should be done in regards to the Muslim and the increase and stuff like that. But the founding fathers put this an establishment for those that have different practices, different religions. So in actuality, unfortunately, Mr. We need to make America white again. Your founding fathers allowed for this to happen. Did they expect that this would happen? Probably not. But they put it in law. This is our Constitution. So for a Christian, supposedly, to come out and say that this is a white Christian nation and that we should have, I can understand his frustration and everything that's going on, but this is when we're not being wise and we're not using our minds to really think through certain situations, because everything that you just said is contradictory to the evidence that you pointed towards, because the people, the fathers that you were talking about that wouldn't want this were the same fathers that allowed for this to happen. Unfortunately for you, this is just what it is. This is the law of the land. This is the law of the land that your white founding fathers have put in place. So then what? Then what do we do? And then on top of that, talking about he's not a white supremacist. I don't know. I don't think you're out here, causing issues, saying F you to all black people and everybody in all different races. I don't think you're saying that necessarily, but you do want a more white America based off of what I'm hearing. Or I think what is happening is that kind of like what happened with Ohio and the Haitians coming in, and they just randomly came out of nowhere. And then the white people of Ohio, some of the people that, they were able to catch on camera, were saying a bunch of stuff that were, all right, guys, it's a little racist now. But it was out of frustration with the situation. And they, again, weren't using their wisdom to really dig into, really look into what is happening and trying to find the best way to express how it is that they feel. If this is how they really feel, then this is how now you know how they really feel. But this is what happens when you see people at their worst. It's unfortunate that he was very contradictory with everything that he was saying. So yeah, bro, I don't know what to tell you from this point. But let's keep going.
It's an interesting topic because we also do have freedom of religion here. If you are upset because of a religion, you may not agree with everything a group believes in, but we do have freedom of religion. Right now you have a bunch of people from both sides yelling at each other. You have the Islam's pro-Palestinian group, and then you have the American Christians on this side. What do you think about what's happening here today?
I think it's a good thing. We got to take this city back.
Okay, and what do you see about the rise of Islam here in the United States? What's your thoughts?
My town itself is growing just like this. They just built a big mosque and everything too, and it's freaking bullshit.
And should it worry people about how fast Islam is rising and growing here in the United States?
It is growing too fast, and it's been growing for too long. And these people, what they thinking, I don't know. If we're deporting Mexicans, we got to get them illegals out too. I mean, there's probably more of them illegal here than there is Mexicans.
Now, the interesting about that is, unfortunately, for those that were of Mexican descent that came over the border, they had a border to go over. It's kind of hard to be from across the sea and be here illegally. This many people, I think, and especially what was happening in Minnesota, one of the things that is happening recently is that Trump is blocking, migration or immigration, and I think it's cracking down on the illegals, those that are, the TPS, that's what it is. Trump is blocking the TPS, so those that are here on TPS, especially in Minnesota, they're having to go back, or at least that's what's being put in place. The thing with that is, it seems like that's a very small population of those that are on TPS that are Muslim. I think from what I recall seeing, the vast majority of them are here legally and are now citizens. So it's like, I don't know.
Would you say with the open borders we had in the past couple years, it grew even faster and bigger?
That grew it way faster.
So how?
I mean, when that administration just flying them in, giving them money, giving them housing, free education,
I don't know,
free food, and then the American people is still suffering over it.
What fears you most about Islam rising here?
I think there's a big concern
I wouldn't even think
about
that he was
just
American.
beliefs and how individuals that have come and immigrated to America or were born here in America and believe in Islamic beliefs, the purpose of coming to America is live as American and assimilate to life in America. And when you refuse to do that, and we have Judeo-Christian beliefs here in America, that's what our founders did. So that's what our founders believed. And that's the way it is. So if you want to believe in something else other than a Judeo-Christian way of religious beliefs, then either decide to live somewhere else. But that's what America is. That's what it was founded on.
And today at this protest, you're seeing me going back.
I think and that's kind of been my biggest thing right now is it's more so the assimilation part of it. Back in the day when I was younger, when like me being Haitian American, we were raised to be American. Like if you're a millennial and you're claiming to be Haitian, it's because your parents were Haitian, but they really know nothing about the country unless they were those lucky ones that was able to go and visit the country and get acclimated to the Haitian culture. But they didn't take the Haitian culture and bring it back with them, because once they came back to America, they lived like they were Americans. The problem that we're seeing with a lot of these different nations that are coming into America is that they're not assimilating to America. It's like when you go to France, you do what French people do. You don't go to France and then you continue to live your American ways, because they definitely have different cultures, different traditions, different ways of living and such. You definitely don't go to some place like Japan or China and live like you do in America over there. You just don't do that. But America seems to be the opposite, where it seems like now they're trying to change that, but they're allowing other nations to come here and live the way that they would in the other nation over here. And a big thing, and especially like my thing, if you're not gonna come over here and assimilate and try to live like the people that are of this land, why did you come here? Why did you stay where you were at? Type of thing. The other thing that is really interesting is that, like I was saying earlier, in regards to those that are some people that are in office or not even America, I think that's definitely a problem. Am I saying that you got to be a white American? No, but if you're going to be holding office, you should be American. You should be American. And not only that, you shouldn't have any ties with another country. As we'll see later on in the video, we'll have some young individuals that are going to talk about, how they would fight for their country as opposed to America, even though they're dreamers, I guess, that were born here. They would still fight for their other country. Stuff like that. You say stuff like that, you cannot have office here. You shouldn't be able to hold office, have any type of power if you're gonna, have ties with another country. That sounds like a huge security risk. You know what I mean? Somebody may say otherwise, but y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Let's keep going.
Back and forth with the protesters, playing a bit of devil's advocate to get both sides. And I think it's important that you question both sides critically to see what they're out here for and to get them thinking as well. That is my job as a journalist here. What brings you out here today?
What brings me out here is support for America. What's going on in Dearborn and Dearborn Heights as a greater whole of this community is become despicable. If you're a Christian, if you're anyone of faith in Jesus Christ and you walk around these neighborhoods at night, I would not recommend it. You will be followed, so people will ask you questions. There are certain areas where I've been talking to even my girlfriend where it's become so it is Sharia law by choice, they say, where we are not telling you have to dress in a burqa or a hijab, but we strongly recommend it. And that is something that has to be put to a stop. It always starts this way. The slippery slope is always real. The moment you give them an inch, they take miles and miles.
What brings you out here?
And that's the interesting, because we've seen this in other nations. We're seeing this in Europe, where there's an increase in Islam. And it's like, oh, yeah, we're peaceful, this, that, and the third. But then those that are really trying to, make change will be the ones that are going into offices, going into power, going into like public areas, and then trying to enforce. At least that's what we're seeing in Europe. Over here, based off of what he's saying. I mean, we can't fully validate just off of what he's saying. But if there's like police reports of such things that are taking place, sure. But considering Michigan being a blue state and them, allowing for a lot of the migrations to come overseas and the whole inclusion and stuff like that, they're not going to. And plus, that's not really a crime anyways, unless somebody's actually being stalked and then, filing and all that stuff. But that's a whole different thing. But I would definitely say that it's always, if you don't make yourself aware of what it is that's going on, there's a good chance that things are going to start to pick up and it's going to swipe you from right under your feet, which is a concern for a lot of these Americans right now, because that's interesting. America's becoming very interesting and it's taking a turn, and it's taking a turn very quick.
Today.
Well, I want to support the Americans in their free speech.
And where are you from?
I'm from the UK. Yes,
Okay.
I'm from
so
Wales.
what are you doing here in Dearborn, Michigan right now at a protest about the rise of Islam here inside of Dearborn, Michigan in the United States?
Yes, I got here last night. I live in DC. I've been living in America for 9 years, just became a citizen. And given that I'm from the UK, I've seen the fall of Europe, I've seen the fall of the UK. There's 82 Sharia courts in England and Wales. And I do worry that it is becoming too popular too fast. And we need to definitely have conversations about it. And this is obviously a big part of that.
Why do you think Islam is becoming so popular right now? It's the fastest growing religion in the United States.
I would say birth rates. They outbreed us in every aspect.
And what did you see in your home country in the United Kingdom and Wales with the rise of Islam?
I see white guilt and colonizer guilt. I see people self-censoring and the government not standing up for the people that have been there for generations.
Do you think if people don't take a stand, eventually the United States will be similar to Europe and the United Kingdom, where they've gone with the rise of Islam?
Unfortunately, yes. I think that today men are extremely weak and they need to fight for what they believe in and the fundamentals of their country.
How many more years do you give the United States until it's a bigger issue here with Islam and Christians per se?
3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years.
Yeah, but for me, I saw it when I was 12 or 13, and I left the UK when I was 18 for this exact reason.
And how do women feel in Islamic towns such as the one you left, or that was growing to become an Islamic town?
I felt extremely unsafe. Actually, we had police officers come into our school and say, this area of Wales is now going to be a no-go zone, so don't go there if you're a female. And I thought that's ridiculous. I come from a long line of Celtic people, and we should feel safe walking through our towns and our villages.
So do you think eventually women won't feel safe walking through their own towns here in the United States?
I already feel unsafe walking through here. I have 2 bodyguards with me today. Yeah, I don't feel safe here at all.
What's life like here in Dearborn, Michigan?
It's beautiful. It's a good community. Everyone loves each other.
And are you Muslim?
Yes, sir.
And what do you think about seeing this group out here today?
I don't know what this protest is for. What is it for?
They're worried about the rise of Islam here in the United States.
They're worried about it? Well, I hope they all have a beautiful life to live, and we wish the best for them. And I hope they change their thinking towards Muslims.
You have the Lebanon flag on today.
I sure do. And guess what? I'm white. This is my Lebanese husband. There is no Sharia law in Dearborn. You guys want to go to the Pantheon and chill?
We'll get you a lab.
Okay, so now she says that there's no Sharia law. So it's crazy.
Come on.
We got a scuffle going on. We got green light, and we're holding up traffic. We have people coming out here. They're blocking off the roads right now. You have scuffles going on in the middle of the street. Your husband was about to get in a scuffle here in the middle of the streets.
That's good. You guys deserve it. Get the out of our... Now we're going to come to your guys.
What was she gonna say? Get out of our country, our nation, our streets? The people that were already living here to get out.
The city and do this. Same thing.
I saw you about to throw down here in the middle of the
All right, so this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be a very interesting take right here. Let's go ahead.
street.
Hey, man, listen. These people hate our country. They hate everything we stand for. We have to oppose them everywhere they go, all right? black or white. If you're a Christian in this country, these people hate your way of life. They oppose your existence. We can no longer allow this. They come over here with their Ford Fusions. Go back to your country, all right?
Go back to Somalia.
Bye-bye.
Go back.
You think any of this is
Little do they know, these aren't Somalis. You can tell somebody's from Somalia. These are Somalis.
fear mongering from the right?
No, it's necessary. You know, it's not fear mongering. We need to do this because we're looking what's happening across the pond in Europe, in Berlin, and France, all over, in London. Do we want to be like that? No. And black people, guess what? This country that you live in, you benefit from it. You should stand with your Christian brothers. Stand with our white brothers and sisters. This is our country that we've built together. We lose it, we have nothing. We lose this land, there's nothing else. You're not going to go to Africa and survive. You're not going to go to the Middle East and survive. Guess what? America was built by Christians. White people conquered the land. Black people benefit from it. We have to stand up for it. That's important.
Jeez, so fights broken out. They're throwing iPhones. Cam Higbee just got maced while he was doing a live stream. Right now, he's...
So this is what happened. He came up and he got in my face. He said, turn the camera off or I'm going to break it. Whatever. And so, of course, I kept filming. I held my ground and he pushed right into me, so I pushed him back. And then he maced me.
And now you've taken some refuge here inside this RV.
Crazy.
Were you antagonizing or what happened?
No, I was just filming. I asked him a question.
After Cam has just been attacked, now people are planning something. And what are you planning?
We're going to burn a Qur'an in retaliation for assaulting one of our patriot heroes here, Cam. America's a Christian country, and we could burn any type of...
Hold on. I know you can't burn the American flag. Yeah, so theoretically, yes. What you're about to do is legal. Is it moral? I mean, from a Christian standpoint, no, it's not moral at all. So, I don't... This guy's...
book we want here. That's what our founding fathers would have done, and that's what we're going to do right now.
This is not what they would have... If this is what the founding fathers would have done, then they are contradictory to themselves because they're the ones that allowed for this to happen. This is the part that he's not understanding. Once it's in law and it's part of your constitution, there is nothing else that can be said. Just like we found how you can burn the book. Can you stop them from burning the book? Yeah, but that doesn't mean that he's going to go to jail for burning the book. Unless it caused some issues with the public and all that stuff, then yes, he can go to jail. But that theoretically, he can do that. But on that same token, everything that they're doing here, they're allowed to do. They are allowed to do. But again, on that same token of what these Americans are saying when it comes to them living in Dearborn and all the interactions that they're having with the Muslim and how they seem to be pushing their Sharia law or whatever onto them or whatever, then no, they cannot do that because your practice is for you, not to be enforced on other people. So there's a lot of contradictories going on around here, but guys, it only gets worse from here.
So Cam took refuge here inside of this RV. He got pepper sprayed, and now they're going to be burning a Quran. This is about to go. This is about to get wild.
Muhammad was a and a...
Come burn it, man. You can burn it. No, son, you can burn it. No, you can burn it. We don't respect America. We don't respect them. No.
Listen, we got another Quran. I'll go get a different one.
I saw he was about to burn the Quran, and then you went and grabbed it. How offensive is that as you as a Muslim man?
Okay, as Muslim man, we don't like no one burn any our book. First of all, second.
I would be pissed if someone burned the book.
Yeah. First of all, second, the law is you're not allowed to burn any religion. Plus, we don't have a problem with any Christian. We don't have a problem with Jesus. We don't have a problem with this. This is America. This is for all. We respect everyone. We respect your religion. You have to respect my religion.
I don't support the burnings of other people's religious books. That to me is a little too far.
And now you're being disrespectful, which I thought that was Hindu. Isn't that the Hindus that don't eat or he's calling them pigs. I don't know what he's doing. At the end of the day, this guy right here who's claiming to be Christian, I think if you haven't noticed by now, is not exhibiting a Christian-like reaction to whatever situation that we have going on here. This is a poor example of what it means to be, I'm not even going to say a Christian at this point. It is a poor example of those that follow Christ, because anybody can claim to be Christian. But if you follow Christ, then that means that you are walking in his footsteps. This is not what Christ would have done. For a fact, this is not what he would have done. So I don't.
Guys.
And now he's grabbed bacon with the Quran. He's smacking the Quran with bacon.
You can't touch him.
You got people running on the streets. The whole entire street's been taken over. Entire street intersection. You got green lights right there. Nobody's able to go through. Cops have just appeared on scene. Now you have cops coming in.
Hey,
what's your thoughts on what's going on?
No division, man. This is about unity. This is supposed to be a unity march. This ain't this stupid shit. Literally. How would you fucking Christians, which I am, feel if I walked in your and burned the fucking Bible and
I'd be pissed. I don't agree with that at all.
That's what I'm saying. We gotta respect each other, man. This is bullshit.
There's a line. There's a fine line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now he's, and this is what I'm saying with the backwardness and the contradictories and all this stuff. So now he's essentially what's for the American, but after seeing what he just saw, he's like, oh nah, bro, we not about that. I'm Christian and this is not what we are here for. You've gone too far. You're always going to have that one individual that goes too far. And it's unfortunate because that person is going to be the now martyr, well, not martyr, but that person is going to be essentially looked upon as, see, this is what your religion does. This is what your faith does. This is how your people act towards others. And I'm here to say that's not the case. This is not the way of following Christ. Straight up.
Bro, how do you feel to see somebody grab your holy book though and smack it with bacon?
Yeah. I don't know why he's doing that.
That's not right at all. You know what the funny thing is? He's going to hell. I don't care.
That's like us holding the Bible, ripping that shit apart, and burning it.
We wouldn't do that though. We wouldn't do that.
That's not respectful. We wouldn't do shit like that because that's up.
Hey, bro, I love you, bro. Whatever you are, I love you. Do you think it's a bit far to burn someone else's holy book?
No, it's not holy. It's a most dishonorable, disgusting book. It sanctifies of children. How can that book be holy? I'm a man that knows Jesus Christ, and he fed the children and protected the children. Muhammad the children and took over entire countries by the death of the sword. Islam is spread through the sword. Christianity is spread through love.
He says the Quran's not a holy book. Said Muhammad was a...
You're definitely not exhibiting that love. Like, you could have protested, okay, I guess, but that disrespect is not... Yeah, no, that's not it, bro. It's not it.
No, it's not true. What are you talking about?
What brought you out here today?
Honestly, I have a young daughter and very familiar with Sharia law and what they are all about, and I don't want to see anything that's they're about happen to my daughter or anybody in my family, anybody I care about. I'm a Jesus-loving Christian, and I think it's time that we stood up for this.
And do you think this ripple effect of what's happening in Dearborn is going to cross over to more cities as far as becoming Muslim majority towns here in the United States?
I think this is the epicenter of it, to be honest. I think it's starting here, and it's just going to keep on creeping out. I think this is where it's going to start, and it's just going to keep on going.
Right now, you don't see a single American flag from the counter-protesters. Right now, you have some people with the Lebanon flag over there, and right here you have an American Christian protester with the American flag. Should people look at that as to see who these people actually support?
See, that was the difference between immigration back in the day. People came here because they wanted to escape the oppression that was in their own country. They wanted to assimilate to the American culture. They wanted to be part of the American culture. Now it's very divisive. Nobody wants to be part of the culture. They want to bring their culture that they escaped right here. And I I don't understand that. If you wanted to escape that culture, why did you bring it here with you? That's one thing I don't
I was literally just saying that before. It's crazy.
understand at all.
Now we're back on the other side, the pro-Palestinian side, Islam side. What have you seen in your take on what you've seen from the other side today?
Trying to burn the Qur'an. That's not allowed. And free Lebanon and free Palestine until it's backwards. Free the Middle East. And anybody that tries to burn the Qur'an, God will get them one day, I promise you. And that's it.
Your posterity will be outbred.
Here we go. This is gonna be the interesting. Again, this guy speaks in heavy contradiction. He's a walking contradiction, and it's crazy. Remember everything that he said before about being a Christian, about following Jesus, knowing Jesus, but then also saying that he wants a white America and that he wants more whites to be in America. White people are now being drawn out of the country and is being replaced with Muslim, and that our founding fathers would not want for this to happen in America right now as far as his religion, even though the Constitution states that they have freedom to practice their religion. So let's continue to see the contradiction.
One day, I promise you. And that's it.
Your posterity will be outbred and will be converted to Islam by the sword if you don't stand now, America. Children's children will be black and Muslim and Mexican if you don't stand now, white Americans.
Children's children will be black and Muslim if you do not stand now, white Americans. So, it just so happened that I happened to push back to him. So, remember this guy right here? Come on now. I'm not here for the race bait or anything like that, but based off of your words and what it is that you're saying, all I can do is just go off of that. Even if I was to agree with everything that this man was saying right here, the white man just said that eventually as time progresses, we're going to be less white. We need to wake up America. What does that mean then for the black person? Yet he's not a white supremacist. And this guy says that black people benefit. No, these are the white individuals that need to be toned down a bit. I understand everything that you are saying, sir. I understand and I get it. You're scared. You don't know what's going on. America is not the America that it used to be. It's now being overrun with a bunch of migrants and illegal migrants and increased flux of black people. But this is the America that your forefathers sent. So
Be black and Muslim and Mexican if you don't stand now, white Americans.
And now you have a bunch of people yelling, Allah Akbar. All these men are yelling, Allah Akbar.
The crazy thing is, in the next couple of generations, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they'll probably each have at minimum 3 kids.
There's a whole lot of hypocrisy from both sides out here today. Things are just getting ugly as the sun goes down. People out here are just driving around and they're hearing what's happening as they attempt to burn the Quran, and people are freaking out. And I don't agree with burning the Quran. I think that's a little too far. What? These people are just pulling over.
Come on, all of you.
Why would I get you? Why? I haven't done anything. They got word out that they tried to burn the Quran.
We learned.
And you're getting heated. You're just pulling over. You're hopping out of the car. You're ready to brawl.
You don't even know what's going on. You don't know who's who. He just got the word and he's ready to jump. Guys, this is why. You know, it's interesting. Somebody had put in my comment section recently in one of the videos that I did in regards to Preach and his Christianity, was giving me a whole bunch of stuff as to why, following a fake God, and why is it that, I'm foolish for believing in such a God that would allow for all these things to happen. And I'm like, okay, what would you expect life to live if we were just clowns? Not clowns, if we were just clones and we were like the angels in heaven for the most part. What would look like on earth if we were like that? Now it's the opposite, to where we now decide, yet we are still foolish. I don't know.
I was gonna blast if I didn't see the cops. I swear to God. That's it. I don't care. To me, I don't care in my life. I don't give a f. Let somebody blast me. I don't give a f.
Just because of the burning of the Quran, the attempted burning.
That motherfucker's life up and his family.
That's now, I'm not going to say that this is all Muslims, because the same way how people could say that Christians have those that really don't understand the word and that is really to go ham and do a whole bunch of ridiculousness. Clearly, the same goes for Muslims. Same goes for Muslims.
That's it. It's on camera. I will that motherfucker's life up. Let him come to me face on face. Face to face, I'll kill him. On my mother's soul. So that's it.
You'll kill him.
I'll kill him. Murder.
Arrest him. You just saw them come out. The guy, one guy even said he'd be down to murder.
Now that's an arrest.
He would murder another man.
We all got arrest him. Do your job.
Seems like the police have sided with the people, the Muslims here in the town.
Yeah, no they have.
And are you from Dearborn?
Dearborn Heights. We've seen it happening, and it's just it's a maximum encroachment every week to week. We're sick of it.
And you're sick of the rise of Islam and the Islamification of your town?
Not the religious aspect of it, the non-assimilation and repression of the American culture.
You just feel more than anything they're not here for the American culture.
Absolutely. They have a different agenda altogether, and we see this with their economy, enslavement, perversion, no value of human life, no acceptance of anything other than what they are, which is really kind of up.
Now you have all these Islam men yelling Allah Akbar. I have a question for you guys. If America were to get in a war with a country like Iraq, who would you guys defend, America or Iraq?
We won't get in a war. That's not permissible for us. But at the same time,
who would you defend first?
We would support our brothers in Iraq. That's the only way.
So you wouldn't defend America?
We would not defend America.
But you're American.
But at the same time, listen. At the same time, America is our country because we were born here. But in our Islamic book, we're not allowed to fight with people that are against our religion. So we just take up the jail time.
So you would
That's
not.
what we do.
So you would not defend America.
I would go to jail instead of fighting for America.
And who would you?
All right. So, like I was saying before, would that be said? Now, granted, he's young. So maybe he'll have a better understanding when he actually has some weight in, what it means to be American and stuff like that. But exactly what I'm saying. Don't let him go into office, because this is America. At the end of the day, this is still America. This is still a country that's different from the other countries. Keep America making America what America is, but at the same time, we can't allow America to be the idea of America, the country of America, to be decimated because we now have a bunch of people from other countries that are in office and then trying to allow certain things to take place, trying to make their country here in America. Because then now we're going to have a whole bunch of separated states where Chicago and Minnesota is essentially Muslim, New York with Mondani there, Muslim, and then you have Christian nations here, then there, and certain parts of, I don't know, other parts of New York, Jewish, and now we have a whole bunch of heavy separation in America to where America's not even a nation anymore. It's just continued mixture, pot of different nations. And that's not a country, guys. That's not a country at the end of the day. Now, I'm not saying to get rid of everybody else. I'm saying that if you're going to practice something, practice it in your home as the Constitution states. But once you start to go heavy in the public and then start doing stuff that may go against the Constitution, may go against the laws, then we're having issues. If what all these people are saying, the Americans that are saying, is true, that's happening based off of this Sharia law that I got a little bit of more information we'll get to in a second, then yeah, maybe we need to be more vigilant. But the police are not going to do that because the blue states tend to just allow the people to just do what they want. Correct me if I'm wrong. If that's the case, show me where I'm wrong.
Defend if we were to go to war against a country like Iraq again, America or Iraq?
America.
And should that be a troublesome conflict of interest for somebody to be here in America that would rather support another nation like Iraq?
Anybody who supports another nation needs to live in that nation.
Now everyone's yelling, Allah Akbar. People have told me they want to kill you here.
I know that. Listen, in America, we're supposed to have the right to stand. I don't agree with your ideology. I don't agree with your ideology. I don't agree with your ideology. And I don't want you in my country. Listen, this is why we've assembled here today, because we want to combat the Muslim mayor. They're going to be.
All right, y'all. So that last part that he mentioned, the Muslim mayor, the mayor is Muslim. Oh, I thought he was from a different country. No, he's just Muslim. Okay, that we're aware of. So based off of what we know so far, so there's a lot of stuff that goes into play. First thing I want to bring up is more clarification on the Sharia law. Sharia law. Apparently, and this is broad, so don't just take this and think that you know everything about Sharia law. This is broad as far as just basic information about it. There is no universal Sharia law code, which is interesting. Because last I checked by somebody that was talking about, the Muslim faith and stuff like that, there's only one Quran, there's only one scripture, all this, that, and the third. Well, then how is this? How is there no one Sharia law? I don't understand. So there's that somebody needs to explain. Essentially, Saudi Arabia and Iran have strict criminal punishments and public enforcements. That's kind of their example. Turkey and Albania, secular law system, Sharia used privately. Indonesia is kind of mixed with some regions using Sharia locally. And U.S. and Western country, Muslims follow Sharia only privately. And that's marriage, custom prayers, diet, and the such. When it comes to personal and religious, most Muslims follow privately how to pray, what foods to eat and avoid, rules about modesty, marital and family ethics, charity obligations. And this is voluntary, kind of just like with biblical practices. And when it comes to Sharia as a state law, it's death punishment, dress codes, gender restrictions, blasphemy laws, and marriage rules. So And again, this is just a weird thing. When it came to the whole freedom of religion, when I was younger, I never really understood what do we mean by freedom of religion? Because back then, when I was younger and there was a war in Iraq and all that stuff, I didn't see that many people that was from Iraq that were Muslims that were here, that were doing the things that we're seeing in these cities that are heavy Muslim cities are doing now. We weren't seeing this. So to me, the freedom of religion was like one of those laws was just like, yeah, it's just there. And then the Hindus and stuff, but I never really seen Hindus or Buddhists like that. So it was like, to me, I was like, oh, this is just, a religion that's out there. It was just like that was my understanding of freedom of religion. You do that in your own space because it's not the main religion of this land. So you're allowed to do that here, but now it seems to be more public, and that's starting to become the issue that these cities are starting to see. But aside from that, this is going into the man that claimed to be Christian and the black man that claimed to be Christian. First off, everything that's happening here that these Muslims are doing, unfortunately, unless somebody can specify for me, the forefathers didn't specify to this degree. I mean, everything that I read earlier today seems specific enough to where everything that they're doing is justifiable for the most part until it starts to get to, tugging at other people's laws and rights and stuff like that, and peace and violence and everything. So in regards to the men that claim to be Christian, I'll say that they're Christian, whatever, but those claim to be followers of Christ. Hebrews 12:14. Strive for peace with everyone and for the holiness without which no one will see the Lord. Matthew 5:9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Matthew 5:44. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Romans 12:17. Repay no evil for evil, but give thought to do what is honorable in the sight of all. Trying to burn the Quran, trying slapping bacon on the Quran, it's not very honorable. Shouting out that eventually this land is your kids are gonna be black and Muslim is kind of crazy. There's plenty more verses that go into how we should be reacting in these type of situations. So like I was saying from the beginning, things start to get heated with the way that people responded, with the way that people acted, without just sitting and trying to understand the other people and exactly what it is that's going on and just having a conversation like Charlie Cook would have wanted to have. Just sit down and have the conversation. None of these marches, none of these riots, none of these, all this extra stuff and exclaiming exactly what's going on. Now, he is talking about having he did talk about the fact that America is starting to become a point where white people are starting to diminish, which is a fact. The more black people, the more Hispanic people, the more people from other countries that come into this nation and that are mixing breeds, eventually the white people are going to die out in America. This is just fact. It's just fact. There's no way around it unless you have less people from other nations coming into America and you have less, I was going to be specific, but less interracial couples. It's just what's going to happen. But y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about the situation. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.